Hey folks, welcome back to Street Rust. It is Tuesday night, the Saturday, following the Saturday that we got back from Hot Rod Power Tour. And to be honest with you, this car's been sitting here ever since. So, what do we do next? I'm getting some input, and I appreciate all the comments. And I think the consensus is we got to move forward. I think we really won't identify what forward looks like until we start moving. But I'm kind of attached to this car now, especially after driving it over 2,500 miles. So here's what we're going to start tonight. We know we got an overheating issue, kind of a cooling issue. We're going to start going through the process of elimination to diagnose. And what we're going to do tonight, I'm going to go ahead and start this process. It's going to take a couple days. We'll wrap it up this weekend. I got this here. Let me make sure you can see this. This is Prestone cooling system cleaner. Got it at my local parts store at O'Reilly's. What you're supposed to do is you drain all of the coolant, which is what we're fixing to do. You pour this in the system, and then you fill it up with water. And you run it with water. And let's see what it says. For light cleaning, run engine for 10 minutes. I'm going to run it for about 10 minutes tonight and just let it circulate and watch the temperature. And then for heavy duty cleaning, you run the engine for 3 to 6 hours. So I'm going to run this engine sporadically between now and probably Friday night, and then we'll flush it. We're going to flush it with just clean water a couple times to kind of, I want to see what comes out of here, what's going to come out of the block, what's going to come out of the radiator. I want to see what it looks like. That's the first step. If that doesn't resolve the issue, obviously we could probably invest in a little better looking shroud, get that closed up. We got our fan that still works. We're gonna address the timing. I might advance it a little more, but we don't want to do everything at one time. Then we don't know where the problem was. So we're going to diagnose this step by step, and this is where we're going to start. So I'll get you set up down here, and we'll start watching me drain the radiator. Exciting, exciting. Okay. All right, let's take a quick look. I just took the radiator cap off. I want y'all to see. I mean, come on now. Can it look much cleaner than that? I don't know. Let's we just need to see what we need to break up. It's a little low, but not incredibly low. Nothing dangerous. So jacked up the front of the car here a little bit. Just want you guys to see. I forget what I call it a drain plug. There's some fancy French name for it. I don't remember what it is. No parlez-vous français. I just speak a little Pepe Le Pew, mi amor. Anyway, let me get the light over here. I want y'all to be able to see what I'm looking at up under here. All right. Now, there is some fluid under here. That's wet. But what is it? Y'all taste it and tell me. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's leaking in that I think it's leaking right here a little bit in this transmission connection. We'll look into that while we're doing this anyway. So anyway, let me get my bucket over here. We don't make a big old mess. Sorry for the camera action here, but basically, you're just gonna open this bad boy right there. And I only had it finger tight, and that's what we're doing right there. Yep, some of y'all, that just creates an urge for you, doesn't it? Maybe you need to go take a break. But anyway, the reason it's coming out so good is because I took the radiator cap off, so there's no vacuum. So basically, I'm not going to make you sit here and watch this. It's nothing extraordinary about it, but we'll get this drained, and then we'll get back with you. And we'll get the fluid in here. We'll fill it up with water. You can already see it's going down. We'll fill it up with water. We'll get this Prestone cooling system cleaner in it. We'll run it for about 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna let it set for a day. And then might run a little bit tomorrow night after church, but then Thursday night run the hog snot out of it for a while and see what the temp does with just water in it and that. And anyway, I am now rambling, so I am now stopping. Be back with you in a few minutes. Okay, folks, we're back. I gotta tell you what, that this thing's supposed to hold like 17 quarts. That's maybe 2 gallons, maybe 8 quarts. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, I didn't take off the radiator hose, thermostat housing, and I got to do that later. For this purpose, I think we're gonna be fine. I'm gonna set you up here. See if I can get you set up here. Because all we're gonna do, there you go. There you go. All we're gonna do is put some of this voodoo juice in here. This little Madame Rouge. Alright. And then we're gonna let it run for a couple minutes, 10 minutes or so. And then we're gonna walk away from it. So there's the cleaner. Of course, we want to watch it circulate, make sure it's getting into the engine block. All right, there's that. Let me get the hose turned on. We're going to fill this thing up with water. Woo, a little too much there. All right, that's mirroring the line. Then we'll start her up. I can hear it draining right into it. Well, I don't know where it's draining into. I don't want to overspeed. All right, let's crank this thing up. Let's crank her up. I hope it starts. We started since we pulled in. Check the plugs in this thing too, but we'll get to that. I don't want this thing falling off. Now I'll just hold it for right now. We got some water in there. Let's give her a little more water. We'll watch this gauge too. Where our gauge is at. Let's turn on these. There we go. Yep. Let's see where we're idling. Yeah, we're just gonna let her sit right there and idle and warm up. It's already starting to warm up a little bit. Get that thermostat to open. This is the first step to diagnosing. Fan's not on. Just gotta let her heat up. Alright, I'll let this heat up a little bit, then I'll get back with y'all. Alright, some sucker down in there. Get some more water in there. It's definitely flowing. I think that thermostat open. I foamed it up a little bit, but you can see her moving in there. Ooh, there is some crud in there now. It's not moving now. that little thing floating in there? They keep that nasty in there. Yeah, there's some nasty in there. I can see a piece right there. I don't know what that is. Let's see what temp is at. It ain't been running but about 5 minutes, so we are. I only think that thermostat opened. I think that was just an air bubble in there because we're only a little over 160 degrees. That thermostat's 180. I'll keep an eye on it and move back. Oh, by the way, you may have seen this. I've been a little busy welding on my mower deck. I've rebuilt that thing about 10 doggone times. So I'll tell you what, that 18.5 horsepower that comes to the engine just won't quit. Kind of like this 383. All right, we'll be back. All right, folks. I don't know if you can see that, but that is ugly right there. I mean, and I'm waiting for the thermostat to open. Let's check that. Well, let's look at that, man. That's ugly. Oh my gosh, look at that. Not oil, but boy, it's ugly. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Bubbling like a cauldron. Let's see the temp here. On the housing, the temp's at 170-ish. The sensor's at almost 180. I want that thermostat to open up. I want y'all to see what it looks like when it flows through. That is ugly right there now. That ain't no bueno. Woo! Alright. Let me see what this temp's at over here. I know it's dark out here, I apologize, but it took a little while to drain it. It's sitting right on 180. That thing's got to be popping here anytime. I may have to feed some onions here. Woo, that's lovely. Lovely, lovely. Come on, thermostat. That housing. I don't think it's hot enough to open that thermostat yet. I have to feed it some onions. I think I can do both. Let me get the jack out of the way. I don't know if I can do this with the breather on. There we go. We'll idle that up for a minute. Oh, I think it's flowing. I believe it is. I believe it just opened up. It's a flowing. Looks a little better, but doggone. Woo. Let's get temp on that water. That water, 150, there that. Get that temp drop down. I'm gonna idle her back down too. They're just sitting there right on 180. Of course, we ain't out driving. Let me give her a little more juice here. Alright. Alright, I think that'll do her. Yep, I think that did her. Alright folks, so I'm gonna let this really get up to temperature here. It's up to temperature. Thermostat open. So oh shoot dilly dog. I'm gonna wrap up my little mess here. You can see I got remnants of the power tool here, and I'm gonna let this run for another 5-10 minutes. Just make sure all that cleaner's in the engine block, and I'm gonna let it set. I'll come start it tomorrow night for a little bit, run Thursday night for a little bit, and then Friday night we'll come out and drain it, and I'll let you see what's in there. We may have to flush it again, as nasty as that looks. So all right, we'll see y'all. We'll see you all in a night or two. Be a couple seconds for y'all. Thanks for watching. Bye. Welcome back. It is a couple nights later. What a beautiful evening. Just absolutely beautiful. It's temperature here in Northwest Arkansas is about 94 degrees today. And had to go into work for a little bit. Had to go and serve at the church a little bit, getting ready for VBS, and had to go do some mandatory fun. Attending a birthday party with my wife, so it was awesome. So anyway, back on this Chrysler. Here is what is going on. You know that we've got this coolant cleaner in here, and you can see that. Let me grab this little flashlight over here. So I come out here, doggone Wednesday night. I'm gonna crank this bad boy up, right? Let it run for a while. You can see that we're seeing green right now, so there was still some fluid left in the block, because you saw me drain everything. And anyway, it was running real rough, and I kind of noticed this when we got home, and there was kind of a little mist going on when we pulled into town about the last 10 miles or so. But I got no spark. So I got fuel, got compression. We obviously have air. Let me get that off there. So let me show you what I did. First of all, well, let me see if I can set this up where y'all can see it. And there we go. Perfecto. First thing I did, if you can see, I wish it was just lighter, and I think you can get in here and see that. We may have to get a different angle on that so y'all can see exactly what I'm doing here. Y'all can see exactly what I'm doing here. May have to edit this part out, but maybe not, because this is real life. Okay, so this is a basic Harbor Freight multimeter, okay? We're gonna ohm the coil. I know the coil works, I've already ohmed it. So when you ohm it, for the, I can't remember the secondary and primary, but I think the primary is from post to post. We're gonna set that down on about 200 ohms, and we're gonna turn it on. And so what we're gonna do to ohm this is we're going to put the positive to the positive side, we're going to put the negative to the negative side, and that ohms pretty good there. And I forget what it's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be below 5, okay, somewhere steady below 5, so we're good there. Now to test the, I believe the secondary, it runs in higher ohms, so we're going to turn this up to about 20,000 ohms, and you want to be somewhere between 5,000 and 20,000 ohms. And what you do is go from the positive. Hopefully y'all can see that. Let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, I think you can see that okay. We're gonna go to the secondary, which is in here, and the primary on the positive side, and we want to be somewhere between 5,000 and 20,000 ohms, and right there we're about 10,500 ohms. So all that looked good. So tried to hook up my handy dandy little remote starter thing that I paid $3.99 for. Won't work. So we go back to this one. Here's what I want you to watch. I'm going to go ahead and start this off the starter solenoid. I want to take this coil wire, and you watch that and tell me if it sparks. Whoops. What happened? Oh, I had it pulled off. I had it pulled off the coil. It ain't gonna spark that way, Sparky. All right, I'm digging down in here and getting it. We'll do this the right way. And there goes the light, and I know that never happens to y'all. Let's go ahead and put this back on here. We'll put this under here, and what we're doing is grounding it, just like you would a spark plug, right? And you tell me if you see that sparking. Let me go make sure the ignition's on. And I kid you not, it was sparking just a while ago. No doubt in my mind. And we're 100% on here. We're good there. Let's try it again. Now it ain't sparking, doggone it. Maybe we're not getting enough. Maybe we're not getting close enough. Let me try that. Well, I see the spark. Okay, so we definitely have spark out of the coil. So we need to dig into the points in the condenser here and see what's going on, because if I take a spark plug wire and I do the same little experiment here, I get nothing. Let's see if we can get that real close but not all the way on. Now watch it spark, right? Absolutely nothing. And matter of fact, the ignition's on. This car should be starting. There's plenty of fuel. I can even smell it. So we need to dig in here. Maybe the points burn out. There's a little plastic nub on the back of those points that runs off the distributor shaft. These days, I think they're made out of poly plastic and they wear out. We need to dig into here. So let me get all this off and I'll be right back. Okay, folks. I know it's dark. Tell you what, let me show you with the light what we're looking at here. Right down there you see the points. I'm going to keep this camera right here, and you see if you can see that little blue spark in there. Come on now. It's sparking. You can barely see it down there. Okay, I hope y'all can see that. Now, when I pulled the cap off, now is that sparking? Is that like a, let me turn this around. Is that like a big flamboyant spark? Maybe not. Maybe I need some new point. The little part that rubs on the distributor shaft, it's metal. It ain't wore down. And these points only got, I mean, the car's set, we piddled around with it a little bit, maybe 100 miles in 2 years, but then 2,500 miles. But I want you to see this. This is what I saw when I pulled off the distributor cap. That can't be good, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I don't have another rotor cap. Probably not going to find one tonight. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit and straighten it out. It looks like it's off to the side. So maybe that's what's going on there. And so I'll clean that up. It looks to be, let me get that little flashlight. You can see, I mean, it's not bad, but there's a little bit of build up on that center for the coil. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up a little bit, and and get that back together so we can get back to flushing the coolant system. Be right back. Well, guess where we just went? That's for you Gabriel fans. That's where Gabriel's working right now. He's inside. But anyway, look what we got here. I came and bought the cap. I tried to clean up this rotor, clean up the contacts. Well, fireworks. That's the old one and that's the new one. So what I don't remember seeing on my cap, this looks to be a moisture, some kind of airflow hole, which is kind of cool. Keep moisture out of there. But we'll see how that works. And looks like the local constable's gone. He had somebody pulled over here. But all right, we're gonna get home and get this put back on, get this thing running so we can do the coolant flush. Okay, so I got the new rotor and rotor cap on, distributor cap, and the rotor. Sorry, ignition, rotor, and distributor cap. Didn't start. Still not getting spark out of the spark plug. I know I saw a little bit of spark in, let's see, these are the points I had in there, and they are of that nature. I remember replacing those when I first bought the car because we were having issues getting it started. Everything's closed now. It's after 10 o'clock. I'm not going to get anything tonight. But here, what I did here, the original points, original condenser. The car ran with those in it. So maybe I'm just not getting enough spark. Now the difference, just from a quality standpoint, let me see if I can get a pointer here. Something to point with. There we go. Okay, so you can see, if I can get these, bear with me one second while I get these together with one hand. Okay, so you can see that these points that are older have a metal part that hits that bump on the distributor shaft. This one has plastic, and that's plastic right there. And it doesn't look like it's significantly wore down, but it is definitely wore down. And if you look at how proud that metal one stands out right there by my thumb, and look how that one stands out. But then again, on the flip side, I guess if something wears like that, you can adjust the gap tighter, or I guess, yeah, you would go tighter, readjust it to get it back to spec. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this in, and I'm going to put this in. I know I'm getting spark from the coil to the distributor cap. I have a new distributor cap, a new ignition rotor, so it's got to be one of these two. If this doesn't work, I'll let you know. Okay, I have got these. Where's my other flashlight? Okay, got these points in, got them set at about, they should be anywhere from 0.014 to 0.019. I think I got like a 0.016 condensers in. Want you guys to see this. If you remember when I did this earlier, it was dark, I was trying to get real close, there was just a little baby spark. Watch this bad boy now. Yeah, give me a second here. Come on now. I mean, you can start a doggone campfire with that thing. So let me get the distributor cap back on, and this thing should fire over, and then we'll get back to the cooling system. All right, I got the idle set a little high right now. This thing is, you know, it's sitting here. Heck, if I was sitting at power torque, this thing would be overheating. It is at night. It's right at 180. So let's keep an eye on this and see what we get. Yeah, we're real close to that thermostat opening. That's the sensor. It's at 182. The housing is at 176. Water temp 180th. Bouncing around. like in here, when that thermostat opens and the water starts flowing, you can see it's cloudy already. Let's see where we're at on the temp gauge. Yeah, we're still sitting on 180. I mean, like I said, any other time this thing would be, and hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe that initial clean, that cleaner can't be doing that. There we go. No, is that moving? Can't really tell. All right, let me take one more temperature in our housing. Yeah, we're just not there yet. We're dang close. All right, I'll get back with you in a minute to get that thermostat open. All right, I believe she's flowing now. That looks like there's a lot of movement in there. Get another temp here. Yeah. But it's, yeah, that thing's just rocking and rolling in there now. It's cloudy at best. Yeah, it's rocking now. It's flowing good. Alright. See where we're at on the temp. I'm gonna move this idle down a little bit. Yeah, we're well above 180 there, so, but still not overheating. So even running at oh gosh, we're sitting at about 1500 RPM. They're about 16. On the highway at 65, you're probably running more like 2 grand to 2200. Dial that down a little bit. That other bumper down to about $1 grand. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I think we're flowing. What I'm gonna do, I don't even know what time it is. It's late. But I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit here with the cap on and build some pressure up in here and get it good and hot in there. Let's see where we're at here. Yeah, 185. Within a couple degrees on each side. I'm gonna go ahead and let it heat up and then get good and hot, see if it does anything. Remember, we drained all the coolant. There's some remaining coolant that was in the block. There's the Prestone cooling system cleaner and water. So it's predominantly water. So amazingly, it's not overheating. So what I'm gonna do is make sure this is really good and heated up, and then let it cool down just a little bit. Then I'm going to pull the bottom radiator hose down here, and I'm going to go ahead and take the top hose off the thermostat housing, because I want to make sure I'm going to flush all that out with the hose. Excuse me. And I want to get the thermostat housing back in tonight, so that sealer will seal overnight. I bought a new gasket for it yesterday, so we'll see y'all in just a while. Okay, it's getting late, but first of all, I'm just gonna kind of wrap tonight up, not the video. I've got a cap on the radiator, you can see down there. So when we flush the radiator, we're looking pretty dang good there. Okay, and now I can go down here and take this little cap off that I stuck on there, and we're pretty clear there. Okay, now the other thing that I've been doing, if I put this back on, all right, there we go, and you can see I have the thermostat housing off. And look how clean it is down there. I mean, it's not, shoot, for as old as this engine is, that doesn't look bad at all. But we know there, let me show you this. I put this in a white bucket. I mean, this is the nastiness. You can there's some green in there, but you you can sure see the brown and the crud and the dirt and things of that nature. So that's just stuff flat out nasty. So I put that bottom hose back on. If you watch right here, as I fill it up, it'll back it up through that bottom hose. Just give it a second and I'll show you how clean that looks. This thing ought to make ice cubes by the time we get done. Here it comes, I can hear it. There we go. It's a thing. There we go. And you can see how clear that is. That's about the extent. Short of taking the water pump off, which I'm just not going to do that right now. If we continue to have these cooling issues, I will go ahead and get another radiator, which I'm planning on doing anyway, because I want to get one of the aluminum, kind of an ice cube one, because of what we're going to do with this engine. We're going to need it anyway, but for now, I just want it to stay cool. When I replace the radiator, if I'm still having overheating issues, I'll certainly take care of that water pump. So now what I'll do down here is I'll take this back off. There we go. And we're as clear and as clean as we can get. So what I'm going to finish up tonight, I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. And I've got the housing over here. I'll put a new gasket, some new blue RTV. And here, let me get some light on this. This all looks good. Not a bunch of crud up in there or anything like that. Looks good in there. So this is a new thermostat, so I'm going to reuse it. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank y'all for watching, and we will wrap this up tomorrow. I'll let that RTV seal overnight. We'll get some fluid in it tomorrow, crank it up, go drive it around. Got a little miss in it, so I think I need to get some new points and condensers. We just went through, put the old ones back in, and that was the problem. Need to probably pull the plugs and take a look at it. So that's probably the next step. And then we're going to work on a little beautification on the paint. So stay tuned. We'll see you tomorrow on this. All right, welcome back, folks. It's the next morning. The thermostat's back in. I've got everything tightened up, lower and upper radiator hoses, which we replaced right before we left. So what are we fixing to do? We're fixing to fill this system and see what we got. I went ahead and bought the concentrated. You must add water. I think the 50/50 mix is about $12.99. This is about $15.99, and I'll get double. And I need about 17 quarts for this, so this should give me, you know, so 4 quarts concentrated. I'm gonna mix it 50/50. There's 8 quarts and 8 quarts. That's 16 quarts, and then I have a little bit left over from Hot Rod Power Tour. So we're gonna go ahead and get this going, because this is run into not a whole lot of money, but you're talking 30 bucks here plus. You're talking another gasket, intake gasket, 4 bucks. We had an ignition problem. I spent 15 bucks on a new cap and rotor that I didn't need. I grabbed the old points off the shelf and they worked, but we'll eventually I spend 20-30 bucks there for new points and condenser. But I think we should be able to get this on the road and going today. So let me grab my funnel. This funnel fits in here nicely. All right, let's get her going. It should drink this one right up real quick. I was doing a little reading last night, and now I don't have a degree in thermodynamics or anything like that, but I was reading that water will cool down the engine quicker than antifreeze, but antifreeze of course has a higher boiling point, so that's why it's important that we get the 50-50 mix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour in this concentrated antifreeze. Then I'm going to fill this jug up with water. Let's make sure I'm not leaking out the bottom anywhere. We'll make sure that drain plug is all the way closed real quick. And it is. So we're going to dump this whole gallon in here, 4 quarts. Then I'll fill this up with water. That'll be a 50-50, 8 quarts. This is pretty exciting, huh? It's about 95 degrees here in Northwest Arkansas. Just got a call from Gabriel. It's after church. He's at work at AutoZone. He's been having some issues with his slave master for his clutch on his Miata. It's out. He bought the slave cylinder. We're gonna have to replace it tonight, so we'll get Gabriel in on a video tonight for y'all that want to see Gabriel. All right, we'll fill this bad boy. Water, nice foamy water, because I was spraying it, that's why it's white. After I put this in, well, we'll keep filling it up. We'll see what happens. Eventually I'm going to have to start it here and get that water flowing. Make sure we get all these air bubbles out. Yeah, we're gonna have to start it. Let's see what we got. Come on now. Yep, we're gonna have to start it. Let's go ahead and start it. Now, I haven't started this thing since last night, so this is gonna be a cold start for us. I guess when your points are working good, that's how it starts up. We're gonna have to let it open up a little bit to get more fluid in there. Gonna have to sit here and run for a minute. Of course, we're not gonna be hotter. So about ambient temperature right now. Tell you what, I'll get this warmed up so you don't have to sit here and watch this, and I'll get back with you as soon as some of it starts flowing. All right, so the system opened up. A couple minutes here. I'm gonna check the temp gauge real quick. Yeah, we're up to about 170. I want to go ahead and keep filling this. Probably got 11, 12 quarts in here. It's a bubbling. Look at that. What is that? You know what? That sure looks like a piece of gasket. It's rubbery and everything. That was just floating in the top of the radiator. That's black RTV. Got to get that thermostat to open. Let me check the temp again. Still setting at about 170. right, as soon as that thermostat opens, it starts flowing. I'll get right back with you. Okay, so the fluid is flowing. We are about, I just idled it down a little bit. We're about 186 on the housing, 190 on the sending unit. Temperature here on the radiator, 185. So let's see what this let's see what we got here. And it's still, it hadn't even hit 200 and it's 96 degrees outside. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep checking. I'm gonna top this off. I've only put in about 11 quarts, so that means there's 5 or 6 quarts still in this system that I didn't get flushed out. That's possibly up in the block because I didn't take the water pump off. Don't know. You know, throw something in the comments down there. I'm gonna top this off with water and I'm gonna let it sit here and run for a little bit and see what the temp does. We'll be right back. All right, we've been sitting here running 10-15 minutes. Let me get the temp down. Radiator 180, 189, 192, 186. Work 170, 130. That's a big difference, isn't it? 168, 127. The thermostat housing right at thermostat temp. The sending unit is about 200. And I can tell you that we're not quite there, but it's creeped up and leveled off there. That's probably about 195, which is still within the operating temp. But we get out there and run this and get it hot and then set and idle, I can almost guarantee it's going to jump up. Let's turn the fans on. So the fan's on. Let's see if that fan does anything. Watch that temp gauge. Watch it here for a minute or two, and I think the bottom line is this 2-core radiator, it's number one, it's probably just wore out. We'll let that run for a minute. Let's see if that helps any. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut her down, let her cool down a little bit, and go ahead and check the fluid level. Then I'm going to get this thing on the road and take a run. So I will get back with you. Let's double check this. It's about holding. That made a huge difference there on the fan. I'm going to turn those off. All right, so I'll get back with you here when we get this thing on the road and we'll see where we're at. All right, folks, I just drove about, heck, I don't know, about 6-7 miles. I'm here at Wally World. So, yeah, here at Walmart. And it ran about 190. I hit a bunch of green lights. Really didn't have time to set and idle, but you can see it's creeping up. I mean, it's manageable. But as we do some bolt-on performance of this engine, it's not going to be manageable. I'm going to go ahead and hit the fans here real quick. I just hit the fan. Let's see what that does. It's idling at about 1,000. That's kind of where I've got it set. That with the timing gives me a good start. You know, if we're sitting here in line at Hot Rod Power Tour, this ain't gonna overheat, or any other car chauffeur for that matter. So it's hot. It's like 95 degrees outside, no AC. Let's go up front and make sure these fans are running. All right.
fans are running. I can hear it. Matter of fact, let's just look. Yep, these are running. You know, it just doesn't seem like it's running very fast. Maybe it's because, we'll check that in a second. But let's see where this temp's at. Gotta buy some ice. Got vacation Bible school tonight. See, it's not like blowing the lid off. Probably manageable. We'll check it again. We'll check it again. I'm gonna go ahead and let it cool down for a minute. Let's check out this fan up front. Oh, you know what? The fan wasn't running. Did I have it off? I must have had it on the whole time. Oh, there we go. Now the fan's on. So I was running with the fan on. All right, I'll do a little bit of, let me get you turned around here. Do a little bit of shopping in here. Got to get some snacks for the youth and some ice, some water balloons, and we're gonna go have some fun tonight. But I'll check in with you when I get to my final destination down here, down the road at the church, and we'll go ahead and close this out. All right, folks. You can see our temp is, I just drove from Walmart here, probably about 6 miles. It's hot as heck outside, no doubt about it, about 95 degrees, but not happy with that at all. We're over 200. And tell you what though, we are absolutely going to make this the last section of this video, because here I am at my place of duty here on Sunday night. We are starting our vacation Bible school. So here's the bottom line. We gotta go to the next step, and that's gonna be the radiator. I'm not gonna replace the radiator and the water pump at the same time, because I want to know where the problem was. So we'll get a radiator ordered, and we'll get it slapped on, and we'll go from there. So thank you all for watching. Once again, please subscribe, like, and share. Free to you, blesses us abundantly. Thanks. Be blessed.